Hey there, in this tutorial for the Junia project, we're going to be giving a page builder overview. So we're going to look at how it works, editing content and moving things around, creating new content on the front end of the website for pages. And so to begin, we're going to just open the page builder and we're going to see how some of these things kind of work together. So here on the home page, we have several things going on. You can see when I hover over this on the big area, it's called a row. When I hover over this, it's a column. This is a column. And when I hover over this, it just says button settings, or this would say info box settings. And these are different modules that you would use. And so essentially it works like boxes inside of boxes inside of boxes. You have modules that go inside of columns, and then columns go inside of rows, boxes and then boxes and boxes. And to edit them, it's as simple as clicking on them and editing the content. We'll start with the smallest one would be the module. So when I click on this, it just pulls up a little box here where we can edit the content, and I can edit it in real time. You see when I remove that question mark, it removes it from the button. I want this to be a link, of course, and I'm linking it to the start page. And I can choose to open it in a new window. If I want to, I'm just going to click save. Same for this. If I click on this info box, it brings up the info box settings. I click on content and I can change the title here. See how it removed women's, and it just edits in real time, and I want to click save. And if I want to move these somewhere, you can see when I hover over this, it gives me the option to move it up here, move it over here. I can move it to another column. I can even move it to another row. Columns have settings as well. You don't really have to worry about these for the most part. We're going to be creating what's called saved elements, and there will be another tutorial where we go over saved elements. And these are just different rows or different modules that we're using the same styling throughout the website, and it kind of gives you a head start if you have to create a new page. Instead of having to build it from scratch, you can use some of our saved elements, drag them onto your new page, and you already have a template or a blueprint for what you're trying to build. Next we have the row settings. So when I click on row, let me drag this, and I have a bigger screen, so it might be helpful if I just drag it over here and dock it on the side. You can see I have a fair amount of row settings, and here's where you guys will probably mess around with it the most, is on the background type. You can see I have this set to photo. I have the photo set here. You can edit to change the photo. And then I have a background overlay. I'm actually using a gradient because it goes from a little bit of see-through just to solid white at the bottom. But you can do just an overlay color as well. I like the gradient. That's what we went with on this site, and we're using it. And of course, there's a saved top row or saved row that already has some of these built in already. And that one's using a photo. But if I click on the row settings here, you can see like this background is just using a color. The background color is set, and you're good to go. Now you'll maybe come across different areas of the website where we had to hard code certain things for them to work the way that we needed them to work for what we were doing here. This top slider here is one of those examples. So if I click on this, it looks like a normal module until you click on template. And now you see that there's some code stuff here that spits this out. And there's some CSS here, is another code for styling that makes it look the way that it needs to be looking. There's only a few places where we had to do that. Most of these are just you click and edit, you're good to go. The only other place I think right now is this. If I clicked on this, it will open another tab because it's a global module if I want to edit it. But you can see this is all the code for that, for this area right here. Now to change some of this is fairly simple, but of course you guys are on a care plan. If you need to change something in the code, we're an email away. But you can see it's pretty easy to find the little things, like if I want to change personal stories, that personal story shows up right here. The description is right here. If I wanted to find women in the Bible, just scroll down until I find women in the Bible. And maybe we can make another tutorial on changing these out, but I imagine that this is something that is covered in your support plan that you would probably want to come directly to us for. So this is the page builder pieces all work together here. And then we have this menu up here at the top. If you make like a landing page, maybe you guys have an event, or maybe in the future we're having a course for the Junia project. You can maybe you have a landing page and you want to reuse that landing page. You just save it as a template. You can see the revisions that we've made before clearing. And then there's certain settings here that are more code based. I don't think I have anything here. Mine's all mostly on the back end. And then if you're the dark UI kind of person, you can change the brightness. I prefer the light version. And then over here on the side, we have this plus icon. And the first thing you see is modules. So when you click on the page builder, you'll see all the modules over here. All the modules available are here. It's kind of overwhelming. I understand how many modules there are. A lot of times we can take out a lot of the stuff that you don't need or that you won't use to kind of free up space here so that it doesn't look like there's so much and you can find what you need to. Or as you learn the names of the modules, you can also just search for button, and I could add a button. Or if I have a call out like an info box, I can add an info box. Here we have the different layouts for the rows. So if I wanted to make another row, I would drag it in. Templates, we have a few saved templates here. And then of course the saved modules and rows here. And when you're finished editing, you just click done and publish. And you're good to go. And you can refresh. Now we're going to go to a builder testing page, and I'm going to kind of build a few things from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a row. We're going to drag in a 2-column row. Now we need to give that row some content. I prefer using a call out module. And I can give it a title. I can give it some content. And just in this one module, instead of having a header module, a text module, and a button module, I can just go to the link tab and I can type in a link, make it a button, and suddenly we have that right there. Now if I have a photo module, let's find photo. I can drag a photo in, select the photo from the media library, and if you want, you can change some of the styling. The one thing that we're using on your site that's pretty consistent, but I don't have code written for it because I can think of use cases where you might not want to use it, is the border radius or the curve on the side. So I come to style, radius and shadow, and I add a 5-pixel border, and I click that little link, and it makes all the border radius 5 pixels all the way around. And if I want to duplicate this, I can duplicate this row, and I can make it different in a second. Just by going down to background type, clicking photo, selecting the photo, position it how you need it. And then I like to give a overlay color as well. You can drag that around to change the transparency. I can remove a module with a click. I can do the same for the column. And now if I want to center this, I can open it up, click the alignment, and we want to see that lady, so what we're going to do is change the height, and we're just going to call it full height, and that'll make it take up the whole area of the screen. And when you're done, you just click done and publish, and you're good to go. And that's how you use the basics of the page builder on your Junia project website.